federal government says the two Canadians detained in China, Michael Spavor and Michael Kovrig, received consular visits on Saturday. For more on this, we have Lynette Ong. She is a professor of political science and China expert at the Munk School of Global Affairs for University of Toronto. Lynette, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today. I want to get your thoughts on this. Does this signal that there has been some movement then on the Canada-China situation, the relationship between the two countries?
No, because consular visit once a month was I think regular. Now former ambassador McCallum, before he got into trouble, he actually told the press that both Kovrig and Spavor afforded consular visit per month. So this sounds like a regular thing to me.
Okay, and so do you believe then that, as you were mentioning, the former ambassador to China, John McCallum, he, of course, resigned over some comments that he made. Do you believe that his resignation has had a deep impact here?
I think that put us in a more difficult situation because we don't have a former representative. We do not have a former ambassador in Beijing. And I think his dismissal is also seen by Beijing as sending kind of conflicting message. And somehow, the Trudeau government cannot quite get its act together. Mm-hmm. So overall, I don't think it's a positive development.
Okay, I do want to get back to those visits because this is only the second consular visit for Kovrig and the third for Spavor. So there's been limited access for these men for our government. So what does that mean then? What does that tell us about how long their detentions may even go for?
It doesn't really tell us very much. So, according to our standard, it's definitely a violation of their human rights. They are treated inhumanely. But in Chinese authoritarian system, this is not an unusual practice. Mm-hmm. So just to put things in perspective, so it really doesn't tell us very much. But I think the fact that we are able to, our embassy in Beijing, the staff members are able to visit the two detainees, I think it's a good sign. At least we know what is going on with them.
Now, we were waiting for quite some time to hear from the United States on the situation and really finally hear whether or not they were going to request the extradition of Huawei executive Meng Wanzhou. We received that this past week. Should we expect this then to cause more harm to Canada's relationship to China?
I think so. Because I think overall, from China's perspective, this is seen as a political strategy by the U.S. rallying its allies to contain Huawei's growth and to contain China's growth. So in that sense, Canada is very much seen as an instrument of U.S. power. They don't see this as a question of the rule of law. They see this very much as a political conspiracy.
And so now, what is the best way for Canada to move forward?
And a very, very tough situation. So I'm sure the Trudeau government and Foreign Affairs is working around the clock to find a solution to the problem. And I've heard, there's rumors in Ottawa that we are thinking of sending an envoy over to Beijing. I think if someone appropriate could be selected, that might help to ease some of the tension, even though that may not bring an immediate solution to the problem.
Okay, we do have to leave it there. Lynette Ong, political science professor and China expert at the Munk School of Global Affairs. Thank you so much.
Thank you.